Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, we're going to farm by the light of the moon. Night Farmer is a 6.5% porter from Old Nation Brewing Company in Williamston, Michigan. Most people know of Old Nation through M43, which in its own right is a great New England style IPA, and it was my first big introduction into the style. Now, having a huge success with a beer like that could lead one to believe that Old Nation is just a one-trick pony, that it's relying on a similar theme and just kind of reiterating on M43 into other similar beers. But Old Nation shows time and time again that they have the chops to brew fantastic traditional styles as well, and we don't have to look any further than their lager series and one of my favorites, and the unsung German Hobo malt liquor. Now, Travis knows my love of German Hobo, but today we're going to be looking at the traditional style with Night Farmer. This is a porter. Let's get a look at the label. We'll get it into a glass, but first I'd like to thank my executive producers Ryan Barry, Eric Latowski, Brian Kramer, and Zach for helping to bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help with the channel, or maybe just buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.com/draft_therapy, where you can get early access to these videos, exclusive patron-only live streams, and a few other special perks available only to patrons. So, if we take a look at this can, it's a little bit of a diversion from Old Nation's general full can wraps. This one it's just kind of the front half. It says Old Nation with the ON, then Old Nation Brewing Company, and then Night Farmer, with a picture of a farmer in the dark on a tractor, the lights kind of, glowing around the tractor, and underneath that it says Porter, alcohol 6.5% by volume, IBU 20, 1 pint, and then if you turn it to the side here, it says brewed and canned by Old Nation Brewing Company in Williamston, Michigan. Please drink responsibly, then the Old Nation website, oldnationbrewing.com, and the independent craft beer logo. If I took a look on the bottom of the can here, this says Night Farmer, canned on March 12th, 2021, and then Old Nation. The printing is kind of spread out a little bit, so it's a little bit hard to read, but, this just came out within the last couple weeks, so usually, they can get it churned out from being canned to being on shelves relatively quickly. So let's let's crack this open and put a nose on the can. It has a lot of a roasted malty characteristic to it. Kind of what you would expect to get out of a typical porter. So let's go ahead and pour this one in the Draft Therapy Tiku glass there. And this is coming out pretty clear out of the can. I'm able to see pretty well through it. It's got a light kind of like a dark tea colored stream pouring out of the can. Looking at the overhead here, we have a nice, just off-white, maybe slightly tan head. It's not quite white, but it's not dark. It's not like a coffee colored head. It's more of a light tan, very light khaki color. Really lots of compact bubbles. There's a lot of popping on the top there. We're getting about a finger and a half, being generous, about a finger and a half of a head there. And let's go ahead and hold that up to the light here. Very dark. Again, looking through the bottom of the bulb of the glass, I can see it is a bit of maybe an orangish tea kind of colored color, basically, for lack of a better term. Let's put a better nose on the glass here. And I'm dipping my nose in there. But yeah, getting a lot of a roasted malt aroma, what you would expect to get out of a typical traditional porter. So let's go ahead and try it out. Cheers. So a lot of that roasted malty characteristic up front. It has a bit of actually, there's a lot going on. So the mouthfeel, let's start with the mouthfeel, and then we'll get into all the flavors, and I can get a better sip and kind of give you a little bit better of a better insight. So the mouthfeel is actually quite crisp, quite light. Porters and stouts. Porter is like a borderline between a brown and a stout. It's like right in between. A lot of people confuse, when they talk about porters, they confuse them with stouts. But this has a light mouthfeel, very light, very crisp. And then let's get another sip here, and then we'll talk about the flavor in there, the taste that I'm getting. Getting a huge roasted malt flavor, getting a nice smokiness in there as well. That's just in the upfront, because that mouthfeel feels so light. You get a little bit, like I said, of that smokiness. We get a lot of that smokiness, a lot of that nice roasted malty flavor. As you get through the swallow, the sip, and it rolls over your tongue, a lot of that smokiness really pops out. There's a lot of a chocolate flavor that comes through. It's like a dark, really super dark, ultra dark chocolate, like a 90% chocolate that comes through on the finish, but that smoke continues to come through. I feel like you get the smoke from the beginning to the end, so it's very smoky. If you drink and swallow it quickly, the smokiness is a little bit, it's a little bit subdued, but you're getting a little bit more of a sweetness, like a sweeter chocolate flavor. But again, as you swallow, as that aftertaste starts to kick in, it kind of, rolls over your tongue. You start to get that smokiness. Definitely, if you get it on a quick drink, if you don't get much of the smoky, but you get a little more of a sweeter kind of chocolate, sweeter roasted malty flavor, that smokiness comes through on the tail. It really lets you know, hey, you're supposed to taste the smoky flavor, and you get it a lot. You get it in spades on the swallow, on the aftertaste. But it's very complex. There's a lot of flavors kind of vying for your attention. It almost has there's this sweet kind of flavor in there that I don't want to say there is that chocolate, that, like I said, that chocolatey kind of flavor on the tail end, and it comes through like a bitter chocolate, but there's almost a sweeter kind of chocolate at the beginning. And I don't want to say it's chocolate because it's not really chocolate, but I feel like because that smoky, roasted, malty, chocolatey flavor is on the aftertaste, I want to say that's what I'm getting on the sweetness up front, but I can't put my finger on exactly what it is. Regardless of what it is good. Old Nation, like I said, they're known for M43. They're known for Boss Tweed. Everybody loves seeing strawberry M43. They love seeing the flavored variants of M43. We love seeing, Full Earth, or, all the orthodox New England style IPA series that they do. We love seeing those, but me personally, I love to see when they do a lager. I love the different styles of lagers that they do, because like I said earlier in the intro, they always do a bang up job. And I was glad to see that they were doing a porter. I love Electron Brown, so I was glad to see that they're doing another traditional style. They're doing that porter, and they're doing it in a way that's true to the traditional style, and they knock it out of the park. If you are a porter fan, if you've been looking for a good solid porter and you just haven't been able to find one in the sea of all the stouts, or all the, you're just kind of over IPAs, and you just want to go back to basics and get a solid basic beer. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean like back to basics, fundamentals kind of brewing. I think that you could do a lot worse than Night Farmer. I think that Old Nation, just, again, they kill it. They know what they're doing. They're proven, and you might think of them for being that New England style IPA, big powerhouse in Michigan, but they still do traditional styles exceptionally well. Night Farmer is no exception to that rule. All right, friends, that has been Night Farmer from Old Nation Brewing Company. Have you had this beer, or do you like going back and trying those traditional styles like porters, browns, the regular, just non-adjunct stouts? Are you totally into the sours, the adjunct, the bourbon barrel-aged stouts, the hazy IPAs? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, if you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell, because I'm here talking about beer twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's all for free for viewers just like you. And you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed and getting those notifications. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries wherever they are, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers.